Hey guys, this is DPSI. We're doing the 1300 match now. So it's actually on the same map that we just saw for the 1200 match. And it was just coincidence at first, but then I was like, you know what? This is a good thing. Because that way we can see two different sets of very good players play it. So here we have the Fang versus P0. I'm not going to P0 has several accounts that go by P0. It's like they have different trailing digits. So the Fang we've had on here before. The Fang is very, very good. They're at 1376 right now. Tons and tons and tons of games played. Like looks like nearly 400. And P0 recently returned to League after several, maybe like a year hiatus or something. They're currently at 1386. Sorry, I can't read numbers. That's a 4. 1384. And P0 is like, when they win, it just looks impossible. I don't know what it is, but against a lot of, like, instead of being flashy and winning with big scary tactics, oftentimes what P0 will do if it's like a close enough game is that they'll just crush you slowly and just artillery up and then just move in slowly, outposition you, and it just looks completely hopeless. So yeah, P0 is like the Python, I would say, of Advanced Wars by Web. The P is for Python, I'm sure. And then the Fang actually kind of lives up to his name as well, which is just kind of a flashy, like bite you hard type player. So, well, I guess Pythons have Fangs too. All right. Anyways, okay. So all right, same map. So last time we saw Max versus Max, and the reason I said that it kind of makes sense is because the center position is kind of hard to hold and play comfortably with as Eagle and Olaf. So here we get to see an Eagle play, which is P0, and I guess that kind of makes sense with his playstyle a bit. Kind of being able to slow play Eagle is with good positional moves is like, if you can do that well, you'd be well suited to pick Eagle, as opposed to like, I mean, other players, other CEOs can be played that way too. Max maybe not quite as much, but I'll just say that like artillery is very helpful for that type of play style. So maybe you can play the Python type style with Max, but with Eagle it makes a lot of sense. So let's see how these two like differing play styles between two of the best in the world look when they are pitted up against each other. And this one I've seen before, and I kind of remember how it goes, at least for the first 10 turns or so, and then I haven't seen what happens after that, if I recall correctly. So let's get going. Okay, the usual turns. The Fang decides to back cap here. As we talked about last time, back capping, so we found out that it actually allows for moving here. You back cap here, then you move to here, just near the base. Then you move to this mountain, and then it quickly gets you this property, which otherwise can be kind of slow to get. So I think that's the benefit of that capture route being played early, is that you're guaranteeing that you get this nice center property. Looks like P0 does not play that way. Instead, they decide to move towards move towards these properties instead with their first infantry. And in the last game, we saw the APC opening from Zhao Tiantong, in which you capture this guy. It doesn't really matter if you do it first or second with like your first or second infantry from this base. But you do want to capture back this way, and then when you're finished capturing, you should have an APC ready. And the APC is going to take you... Oh, I see. It was most clean when you did when you actually, like, yeah, the APC opening was the most clean when you capture back this way first. Second infantry goes here, and then move the APC to here, drop off, and then this guy's ready to move, and then you have another boost ready to go. This other way can work too, I think. We'll see if P0 does infantry opening, APC opening. And then you could ask, is that a good thing to do as Eagle into Max? I really am not too sure. I'm not too versed in Eagle versus Max, and I really have only added APC builds into my repertoire in like the last year or so. So yeah, something to think about. I mean, it's good because it like gets you that income boost that can help you later, but it might be dangerous in the short term against max recons. So yeah, that, or max tanks, of course. Like max could just respond to full tank spam, and well, I guess the good thing is you can set yourself up for some mech transporting. Although, of course, Eagle mechs are like not particularly. They're not great, you know. They don't get the boost from lightning strike, so they don't do too much. But you know, they're mechs. They're serviceable. They hit back hard when you engage poorly into them, so they still have their merits. Okay, so Fang captures back this way. He could actually set up for the APC strat that we talked about by Zhao Tiantong. Okay, Fang does not go for the APC strat. And then P0 has one more turn to decide. No APC. Okay, so yeah, no APC, no early APC from either player, but everything else looks pretty normal. Just infantry, so I imagine we'll probably just see tanks, except for this. I remember this part. So P0 actually opens double artillery from his 2-base side. Which when I first saw this, I was like, you're out of your goddamn mind. Like, on a map this open in the center, and this early in the game with no tanks to back you up, it just seems crazy. Luckily, it does come with the added benefit that your income is at 9k, so you do get a tank next turn if you so please, which I think you pretty much need from whatever side the Fang decides to threaten. Well, I guess either your 1-base side or your 2-base side, but yeah, the double artillery build is crazy in my opinion. Like, it almost makes me wonder if P0 was thinking, like, I have this idea in mind, let's just see what happens. Especially against the Fang, who's such a good attacker. So yeah, Fang responds calmly with more tanks. Here comes the tank on the 1-base side, which I think you have to do because you want to be able to capture this comm tower with impunity. And if you don't capture the comm tower, you might be in a world of hurt. So more tanks are built by Max as expected. So this is a pretty cool position by the artillery. Out in the open, it's outspacing the tank by 1 turn, and it's shielding all of the infantry at once, which like looks really, really cool. So good one for P0 for finding that. That's really nice. And this artillery is just like out here in the open. I don't think it's really doing anything other than looking brave at the moment. And then the two. Okay, well then the Fang moves. So yeah, as like doing a great job of like putting tanks on either side of this area, kind of vice gripping the 2 artillery here. And then P0 finds this move here. So I guess the idea is like, yeah, I mean, it's just supposed to be a defensive formation. I mean, the obvious attacking idea is you hit the artillery. But if you hit the artillery, you get clapped back with either an artillery shot and or a tank shot. However, you have to hit with both in order to get the tank kill. So you could attack with the other tank at the same time, and then you get one artillery shot on the tank, and then a tank shot on the tank. So you're basically trading something like you're trading like 11 tank HP for. It's not very good, I don't think. Unless I'm about to eat my words. Okay. No, so the Fang doesn't go for that attack. I didn't think it worked, but I had to go through a few scenarios. But yeah, P0 looking pretty nice up here in the upper left. Doesn't have enough tanks or forces in the upper left to comfortably go for 7-1 here. That one's going to be a bit of a challenge to get. Whereas the Fang here, the mirror property here at 15-7, this looks like it's going to be captured with relative ease. Unless something crazy happens with all the artillery jumping down on that spot right now. So it looks like P0 finds a way of protecting these two central city caps at the same time. You can sort of see the weakness of artillery in this position here, reflected in the fact that like they're very good at strongly defending a few areas, in particular here, and then the sides as well. So these few squares that are important for this capture are great. But the thing is, if they were two tanks right now, like they would also be defending all this other area. But the unfortunate thing of being artillery is that you don't have that much reach, as you will know. So like they can't cover a lot of ground at once. So sitting out here in no man's land, you have to really work to get them to pump out value for you. So unfortunately here, so I say unfortunately, I'm really rooting for P0 because I like this artillery play, and let me just say that outright. So P0 like plops his tank down on this city to prevent it being from captured by the Fang. Unfortunately, it eats a tank hit for that. So, and it's trapped to boot. So this tank, like this oversight really hurts. And also the interrupt on 7-1 here also hurts a bit too. So far as the Eagle game plan is not working out so hot. Not particularly ahead. Like the income is even-ish, but at the cost of a few, like at a cost of a tank so far. So it's hanging in there, but with this property neutral and no easy way to capture it, this property could be flipped actually. So that actually looks decent. So actually, the main thing is just losing this tank. It would have been much better to just give up the infantry, to give up the tank rather than having it be trapped, I think. Okay, so it's actually not a complete waste because P0 decides to move the artillery up here to cover it. So it's actually just a bit of tank HP, and it leaves the property neutral for a bit longer, it seems. And although P0 will actually try his luck, the Fang will try his luck with attacking at the same time, but really this comes at this much bigger attack that happens down here. This is kind of like a technique It's like attacking everywhere at once. When you attack everywhere at once, it's like your reinforcements from one front can't reach the reinforcements on a front that's doing worse off because they're busy not losing the front that they just got attacked on. I hope that wasn't too many words to explain it, but basically attacking at once means that your opponent's troops are all busy and they can't like reinforce each other as easily. So let's go back and figure out. So we were about here where this happened. And then this position here, I think gets broken. Yeah, big time. Okay, so the recon gets involved. The recon and the 6 HP infantry kill this guy. Two tanks kill this guy, and they dive in on the artillery. So no tanks in the south here get hit, but it's 3 tanks against 3 tanks, and with no artillery involved, with this artillery injured, it doesn't really get a nice counter hit off. So yeah, it's a hard turn for P0 to come back from this. Like, you could think just 1 tank per tank, do tank on tank, tank on tank, tank on tank, and then hide from the recon with your artillery and then set up outside. But like, the danger is that the Fang has a lot more infantry that he can suddenly send to the center, and that's going to be a problem. So let's see how that goes. So P0 actually doesn't do... He kills 1 tank down here in the south, and then shores up. Kills the 8 HP tank with the artillery. So that was basically a tank for a tank exchange, but the artillery was busy doing that instead of reinforcing with the south. So that's kind of what I was talking about with attacking everywhere. And now this artillery looks very exposed. And that's exactly what happens. All the infantry kill the infantry buffer, and then this tank shoots this 1 HP artillery. And it looks really, really, really bad. Over here, on the other hand, so this is a Fang power turn. So this guy hits this tank, and then they just like go down the line, killing all that stuff. And despite all this power charge, Eagle is still 3 stars away, which is really bad. You like having like a really big engagement that only gets you halfway to your meter is very dangerous, because you're just a vanilla CO with no stars to help you, with no powers to help you. And like, your unit value is dropped so much that you can't really afford to trade them out for stars, because if you converted them all into stars through attacking and defending, through power meter, through attacking and defending, you just don't have anything left to engage with your lightning strike. So that's the big issue there. So still though, P0 shores up, like takes out a tank in a defensive formation. You kind of have to play defensively in this position, because going all out versus Max is just gonna leave you with nothing left to lightning strike with. Okay, Fang moves. Well, and actually, it's kind of crazy. Like, so I mean, it's obviously Fang to move, but P0 is actually hanging in there when it comes to unit value. I mean, it's not good, but it's not horrendous. Okay, what's the last move? Okay, breaks some more stuff, kills a bunch more infantry, and then I guess that P0 resigns here. Yeah, and as I said, it's like the unit value isn't horrific. That difference is like still okay when your Eagle power charge is this much, but like the unit count when you have this many artillery can't be that low. You just don't have anything to shield for them anymore. That's the that's the real danger. And then actually Fang builds out a few recons to finish the game against the artillery infantry stuff. That's it's pretty interesting. It's like a cheap unit to like throw out the infantry for one hit KOs on powers. I know I know the Fang likes recons in other matchups too, which is kind of nifty. So yeah, this must be where P0 resigns. And we have the glitchy log, so we don't get to know for sure, but let's see if we can refresh and it tells us. This is really weird. I wonder if they changed the interface on me. Alright, well, anyways, yeah, I'm sure the... Let me just look at P0's profile. Look at the... Actually, Fang has fewer. Oh, I see. This is from uploaded from a replay. So he's actually fighting him again. Fang versus P0. The Fang won. Okay. I mean, that's what I thought, but... Okay. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching the 1300s match. Next one we'll have the grand champion of them all, the 1400s match, and we have someone special involved for that. So look out for our 1400s player. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.